Alright guys, welcome back to the Frugal Homestead. So today we're looking into building a multi-stage pallet composter. Now why do we need that? Well, it's real simple. When you're doing large amounts of compost, a pile works. But the problem is, it's harder to keep cover, it's harder to not have the ground cover grow over it and the earth try and take your compost pile back. Now we've been digging this one out from the bottom and shaking out all the grass and stuff and re-thrown into a compost pile. But clearly for large scale composting, this is not the best method. We need it in a closed area where it can work down, we can sift it as we go and move it over to the next bin. Now I've already done a video on sifting compost, so there's no need to reinvent the wheel here. We just need something to go from pile to pile to pile. So as you can see, our original pallet composter is still working flawlessly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it except it can't hold very much. It is already broken down and we have sifted out most of the smaller stuff, but you can't really move it to anywhere else after this. So you just gotta wait till it completes. While you're waiting for it to complete though, you've got nowhere to put the rest of your compost. So we have to ask ourselves, what's the solution? And the solution is to build a 3-stage composting system that can continually be moving compost, but yet be easily covered and easily kept. That way, we're not putting in any more hours of backbreaking labor than is absolutely necessary. The other benefit to this is it's going to get more air to the pile because of how it's set up. It'll be easier to turn and we won't lose as much to the ground. Now, saying that, there's going to be very basic and very easy to do. 7 pallets and 2 boards, as well as some screws. That's the material list here. It's preferable that the pallets are close to the same size, but not necessary. Now, if you want to do a fully enclosed unit and skip the 2 boards, all you would have to do is add 3 more pallets for the front side. So let's get started. Okay, as you can see, we have our 7 pallets and our 2 2x4s, our box of screws over here, drills here in my hand, and then we've got the first 2 set up. Alright, so it's really hot out here today, guys, but we're going to get this done. So I propped this one up and then put the back one on. Now I'm just using a piece of firewood here to hold it up. This job will be so much easier with a second person or a young man or a young lady to help you just to hold stuff together. But I'm the only one home on the farm today, so guess who's doing it? Just me. So we're gonna use our trusty piece of firewood here to prop this one up, and we're gonna screw the back one going through the slats into the actual base of the pallet. All right, we're gonna put about 3 screws down this side, maybe 4, and that should hold it no problem. So today, we're using Star Drive deck screws. These are 3-inchers. Plenty to hold this together, kind of overkill, but it's one of those things where I'd rather it be strong and last a long time. Now, if you want these pallets to last longer, you could easily spray them down with a Thompson's water seal or some other kind of clear or just water sealing kind of thing, and they last much longer. These are very plentiful where I live, so if they only last 2 or 3 years, I'm fine with it. So this is where things are going to get a little wild. All these pallets are bent and waterlogged and not plumb, not straight. So when you put these boards on, you really have to do a lot of pushing and pulling, and don't be afraid to put in extra screws on this one. Alright, so now it's the final phase, which is putting the bottom on. This is where most of your strength actually comes from to hold the front. But since, as you saw in the clips, I was measuring these at the top, the bottom's generally going to be close enough you can just screw it up. So I think you can see it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's cost effective, it's sturdy, and it will do the job. Now, let's talk price point on this. So, normally you have to add in gas to bring these pallets home, even if they're free. But my wife got these at work, so she was already commuting home. She brought them home a few at a time, so no cost at all, literally. The two 2x4s you see here are treated, but they were bought out of the twisted wood pile at Lowe's. I paid $1 a piece for those. That's $2. The screws you saw me use, I use less than a pound. A pound of those screws generally costs about $3 to $4. So, to be fair in this, let's say this cost me $5 to build. Now, that same $5, if I grow 1 year, 3 tomato plants, compared to what it costs to buy at Walmart, I've paid this off just for those tomatoes. So it's not hard to see the cost savings. Or if you were to go buy bagged compost, that's $3 a bag for the cheapest in our area, and that's basically bull poop, like actual cattle poop. So at $3 for a 25-pound bag versus what I can make off $5, it's pretty easy way to save money, use the resources you have on your property, be it a big property or a small property, and really make something that's useful for your homestead and your lifestyle. Now, some other options. Do away with the pallets, do an enclosed version, and just put pallets on the front, just like you did on the back. Now, how you connect them at the back, if you want to build 2 single ones and then just smash the one in between, that's fine. If you want to offset them, like basically split the 1 pallet that comes forward and the 2 and connect it, that's fine too. It really doesn't matter. Now, if I was going to move this a lot, I'd probably add another pallet, another 2x4 to the back, at the bottom, and at the top. So I had 4 of them, which would strengthen this even more. But I don't plan on moving this a whole lot once I get it set back about 4 or 5 more feet. You can also use this to store firewood in. This would be an easy way, if you don't burn a ton of firewood, this would be an easy way to do it, and then put a metal roof over it. Now, you can cut the ends off these. I have some overhang here. I'm keeping that because I'm going to enclose that into a little box, and that's where my compost sifters are going to go. The same compost sifters that I'm going to make fit the top of these bins. That way, when I have my large stuff here, I can pitchfork it right onto that, shake it, the medium grade size stuff will fall, and I can throw back all the big stuff. And I'll do the same for the next one. And that'll give me 3 to finish. All through it, I'll be adding coffee grounds to each one to keep the process hot. I probably will line the inside of these with cardboard just because winter's coming. And then obviously there'll be a piece of cardboard on top to prevent growth, which is what we're having a problem with over here in our pile. So, super simple way, really cost effective, using the things in your environment. If you wanted to make it look prettier, you could just take and paint all these. That would make the pallets last a lot longer. They're gonna get dirty, but still, it would look better to the eye in your yard. I kind of like it this way because if I push it back up against the woods, but keep it weed eated around, then I can kind of have it disappear as the sun grays it out. Now, something I do want to warn you about these things, because I showed you over there how stuff grows around. Compost is a natural fertilizer, so this thing is going to have tons of bright green weeds and grass and stuff growing around it. So you're going to have to keep it maintained. That'll keep rodents away, as well as make your wood last longer. A simple weed eat around it every once in a while will solve it. Now, it is freaking hot out here. I am burning up, and for that, I ask you to go down and give me a like on this video. Also, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, go down and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see all of our upcoming videos. And I'm going in to get something to drink. You've got to go home, build your own. Let me know how it goes down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Damn, it's hot. I'm going inside. Woo!